All right, let's get into some tools now we can use to, work on these neuroplasticity muscles. So, a big one that was just common in all of the a lot of therapy and these manifestation courses and neuroplasticity courses is understanding not only how to rewire our emotions, which are kind of our limiting beliefs, but understanding what they are. Because as we saw in the research above, emotions are subconscious feelings. So that you feel subconsciously when your nervous system's triggered in a certain way. When you go into a certain room and you see someone, you just have an emotion. But a feeling is when you are consciously feeling, right? So that's the big difference. And the thing about our subconscious is that our subconscious feels safe doing emotional loops. So it'll just have that feeling from that certain moment. You'll remember that, feel safe about that, and then try to do everything you can to just stay with that being part of your safe life, not having to expand into anything else. And that is, one of the most confusing parts. That explains really why this is so important too, because we just think our emotions identify our identity, but they're just our subconscious way of surviving, just like an animal doing what its parents did. It's just an emotional loop. Um, you know, I'm getting a lot more into this. I have a whole part on feelings and a whole other part on emotions in the you saw in the Kibble context in the book though. But that's just kind of a little bit about it. And then this part, what we say is really important to our subconscious listening to that. So if we are enforcing these bad emotional loops with negative thoughts and negative words, we will get that back. And so we want to practice being positive things because of that, just alone because of that. Um, and Also we want to be really understanding the power of having compassion and having an innocent mindset and speaking with kind of compassion and innocence to our emotional loops, because that was really kind of what gets them out and kind of can pull them out. But if we just say that that's who we are and that's who we are and keep going in life, we'll never really get there. And it's tough to have compassion for it, but and it sounds weird, but it's one of the most common tools in all these neuroscience. Some even the manifestation limiting belief experts focus purely on just compassion practices. Um, and then what I have written here is just parts from the book. So I talk about how our emotions have this subconscious loops problem has been going on for all of human existence, and now we're really only realizing we can really take control of it. Like philosophers in the past and a lot of other people like that have tried to, but they've kind of just been theorizing. Now science knows what's going on in our brains, and we can really take this stuff literally. So just have some this compassion work here, and compassion, innocence was one of the highest um, spikes on the EEG measurements for when I think I forgot his name, but the doctor from Wisconsin University did. So just saying, I'm sorry they this, I'm sorry they that, I'm sorry you feel unsatisfied, I'm sorry you haven't found love, I'm sorry you feel unloved. Um, I love my body, just saying stuff like that. It just makes the subconscious feel more comfortable and lets you kind of naturally get back into your heart and just feeling in the heart. So, where am I? Okay, we're good. So another huge tool is visualization. This is a real kind of tool. This is like one of the biggest ones, and it's pretty simple to. It is because the simple reason why this works is because to our subconscious, what we visualize and the real world is the same thing. It can't really tell the difference just based on our nervous system is all it really can see. It doesn't really know what's going on. It just is our nervous system triggering it. So when we can visualize just having a bunch of money, you probably won't even be able to because it's gonna hurt. So your subconscious will be like, whoa, 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 that's like you're gonna feel it right away. The reasons why that's just not safe. But if you slowly get into it and you can visualize things and feel safe, and visualize more and feel safe, and visualize this and feel safe, you'll be able to step into these things, really step into them in life, because otherwise you're not really going to step into it unless you have someone that's just super positive mentor that's just like harping positive plasticity with for you at you. This is just it's just not going to be a problem your whole life, and a lot of people can just let this happen. We don't use these tools, and we just kind of step into things for the first time, um uh while they're happening, and we end up not doing as best as we could. We end up not just feeling as good as we could about it. And this is really cool how this works too, because it's so so many different options of it. This is almost all the different manifestation experts have, and even the psychotherapists and stuff like that, all have different ways of doing this, because there's really no like set way of doing this. It's an ancient technique that's been used for all over the world. Everyone has a different way of doing it. So really, I think just being able for us to understand a comfortable way that we feel not really weird doing something that was totally new to us. So being able to just like calm your way into it, and go through some is really helpful. Um, because there's so many visualizations. I didn't want to put it up here because it's just like it can really be whatever. So another tool that's really important, or it's just really useful, is understanding self hypnosis, which is kind of like visualization, except it's more of a structured visualization. It's this is So hypnosis and self hypnosis. Self hypnosis is when you're and doing it to yourself, and hypnosis is like when you're doing it to someone else. So we're focusing on self hypnosis. That's when we just do it to ourselves. And this is the simple process kind of hypnosis, which is just trying to get the body in a relaxed state. So then we can activate theta, and then we can put in positive instructions. That's the theory of how it works, and it really does work, because the being able to give instructions is the difference between us just going through life, because our subconscious wants to follow directions. It wants to be told what to do. It wants to be lazy and just follow the path of most likely survival. So when we can step into just feel relaxed, feel your breath, sinking into your breath, you'll be able to kind of feel it naturally. Your subconscious will be like, okay, okay, and then all of a sudden you're like really deep in it, and you're just like, what just happened? And that's how it works, because the people have never done any visualization, and then they allow this to happen, and it just changes their whole life. So that's a lot of examples of that. But really, and it's really crazy how some of these hypnotherapists and hypnotists are paid some of the most highest hourly wage work in all occupations, because this is so invaluable to some really rich people, and some like really important people. They want to be able to be productive, and this is the way they can do that, because they don't have to feel it, they don't have to think about it, they don't have to be like, oh, I'm in a feeling really good. They have some expert telling them they feel really good, you feel really relaxed, you feel really secure, and there's no special thing that they do. Really, they just have them. I go through a lot of more stuff in the book, but it's just such a general term. It's just something that everyone should really understand if they have a human brain. So when you're in a stressful time, you can just be like, use one of these practices, because there's so many we can use, just like weights in the gym. So yeah, the little process for hypnosis, I have a little demonstration, but there's the instruction, which is when you're telling yourself, take a deep breath, close your eyes. Deepening is when you kind of try to get real relaxed, and the idea is to really get into theta there. So connecting with the body is just a common theme in all of them, and then it's just positive reinforcement, and then it can be whatever you want. Probably something that we're going to a goal you want, and not a lot of people are trying to brainwash people with this, like in movies. Like, I always thought this was just something to brainwash people in movies with, but now it's actually like one of the most valuable things we can have. Um, so yeah, this is a little bit of hypnosis. Just saying anything too, like will just make the subconscious be like, okay, okay, okay. Like, I'm grateful for what I have. It'll just feel it, and as you feel relaxed and you say it, you will be grateful for what you have. Um, you know, you can say anything. So I don't want to go too into it. I get a lot more into it in the book, but and there's just a whole other. There's millions of YouTube videos on all this stuff too. But yeah, let me see where I'm at. So I'm gonna make a new video about the next part.